Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm just hanging out with Scrooge McParrott, the Chief Financial Officer of, presumably, an organization. I'm not sure which one, although I've heard rumors that Mr. Scar, who is famous for his good times, has lost a bird recently. I sent him a message, but he has not yet responded. If he does, we'll be able to tell him where his bird has been relocated to. Hey, I know it's rude to eat without you. Do you want to fish? No. Okay, you don't want to fish. That's fine. That's fine. We'll just remember where we found this fella, in case Scar does get back to us. In the meantime, I wanted to climb this ladder because it's always important in Minecraft episodes to establish a sense of verticality, you know? Nobody wants to just see you, hanging out in, a long horizontal hallway. People look at this and go, Joe Hills, you're not challenging yourself. Okay, Scar says his bird is still in its cage. Okay, I found a Scrooge McParrott CFO in the Nether. So anyway, we're going to establish that sense of verticality. We're going to believe that we can fly, and we're going to go above and beyond belief. You know, what's beyond belief, you might ask? Well, Ripley, believe it or not, you can actually build things in Minecraft. See this orange terracotta donation chest we've been dumping all this orange terracotta into? Well, oh wait, do you need his location? I have no idea what's actually going on here. Maybe somebody's playing hide and seek with Scar's bird, which seems really cruel because, animals aren't pawns, you know? You're supposed to treat them with respect. But anyway, I was thinking, I have enough orange terracotta here, I can come in and, work on these other people's builds. It would have been smart if I brought literally any sort of bridging apparatus or something. You know, I bet I could fly up there, right? You know, I'm a pretty talented fella. Whoa, okay. Maybe not that talented, maybe not that talented. Okay. So it looks like they put in this scaffold in here with the expectation that they were going to come back and complete this. Now, you know, hopefully it's not going to be too disruptive if we just do our part to contribute to this part of the tunnel on the server. Sometimes it's easy to tell if you're helping or hurting. Other times it's not. Maybe they were going to put some sort of elaborate mural here. They'll have to mine it back out. In which case, orange terracotta placement person, you have my apologies. I did not mean to disrupt your beautiful artwork. I was thinking, though, that I could probably just continue down along this wall and be, totally set in terms of helping on the server, but as I'm evaluating this, it looks like I would need to have some birch planks as well, which I did not bring with me. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about this episode as we contribute to the server is, I wanted to go back to last episode's concept of celebrating small victories, and I wanted to talk a little bit about celebrating small setbacks. Now you might say, Joe, why would you celebrate a setback? I think that there are kind of different classes of problems. Okay, so hear me out. There are some problems that are always bad, and there are some problems that are kind of more reflective of growth. They're the sort of problems that you run into because good things are happening, right? So, for example, one quote-unquote good problem to have might be that, let's look at a few examples, actually. Let's say that you are hanging out and you realize that one of your teeth is loose, right? That seems like a bad problem to have. That is objectively not really what you were going for in your mouthful region when all this started. But, in the right context, for example, I keep wanting to say 5-year-old, but my 6-year-old daughter lost 2 teeth last week. And for her, this small setback of being 2 teeth short is actually indicative of overall growth. And we even took her to the dentist because she was complaining that she was experiencing some pain in the back of her mouth. And I thought, like, that's probably pretty normal when you got teeth growing in and stuff. But just to be safe, why don't we, go ahead and talk to the dentist? And, I'm worried that this is supposed to come in further, because it seems like they wouldn't have put this there in this way if they didn't want this to go in. Okay, so maybe we have a setback here because we don't fully understand what our teammates are doing. But anyway, where was I? Hermitcraft. Yes. So, sometimes you experience a setback because it is a symptom or a result of growth that you are genuinely proud of. My daughter's not freaking out because she's losing teeth. She's excited, and we're excited for her. If she was 27 and she was losing teeth, we'd have a different conversation, as the kids might say. But, at this point, it's natural and it's good. And anyway, I'm kind of dancing around the issue here. We had a little bit of a setback with the album. Sean Hills Sings Joe Hills, the one that I wrote and that my brother performed. And I wanted to talk about that. First, though, I've got my small victory bell right here because we've managed to stay in the top 10 in the Google Play Top Albums and Folk list for 3 days. So that's 3 rings for 3 days of small victories. And for most of that time, we had a 100% perfect, 5-star score. We had gotten like 16, 17 ratings, and they were all 5-star. And I was just like, oh man, I have the best fans. They're listening to these musics, and they're giving them 5 stars on the Google Play Store. And that's really cool. And I'm really happy about it. That's exciting to me, that people are loving the album and listening to it. And unfortunately, all things must change eventually. And so when I went to check this evening, right before I started the stream, what our current Google Play ranking is, we are still number 3 in the US in top albums and folk. However, our star rating has actually dropped. We have received a single 1-star review. And now, before you guys start going, Joe, are you all right? Are you okay? Like, I know that must be an immense psychological blow for you. I'd like to remind you guys that, like, I make things on the internet all the time, and I get mean comments and stuff. It's okay. I get one bad review on this Google Play thing, though, and it's way different, Because all the bad comments I get on YouTube, I'm just like, well, that's how YouTube is. People are going to whine, people are going to complain, whatever. But you know what? I see that bad comment on the Google... Well, it's not even a bad comment. The person didn't bother to leave a review. They just left a 1-star rating and moved on. But, I saw that, and I just freaked out. I was so excited, because I was like, this means that random people who have no idea who we are listening to our music, and they are shocked and horrified, as they rightly should be. Everything that we make makes a lot of sense in the context of, if you're a Joe Hills fan and you hear Sean Hills sings Joe Hills, you're going to be like, yeah, this is my jam. Send me a wave via subspace, brothers. But random people on the internet who hear it are going to be like, who is the guy who conquers death? What's Joe Hills? So the fact that we are starting to get, or the fact that we have received our first bad review, or our first bad star on this, means that we are expanding past the initial audience for this album. I thought, like, oh, some of my fans will hear it, and that's cool. But, like, other people out there in the world are hearing it. And, you know what? Maybe they don't all like it, but why would they? Nothing is universally beloved. Even something like the film Space Jam, starring Michael Jordan. Occasionally, people see that movie and they go, I don't get what the big deal is. And it's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, what? You don't understand how this is a good movie? Okay. I mean, that's your right and your privilege as a citizen of a free country, but, like, I don't know what's wrong with you. Whereas, like, anyway, so, yeah, certain things have universal value. Like the film Field of Dreams. Everybody loves it. Or Heaven Can Wait. But yeah, my music and my brother's my brother's performance is actually amazing regardless of your taste. But my writing it has a certain niche. And I recognize that. And so it's just, it feels good to know that the work is getting out there in the world. So we're having a minor setback. We no longer have a perfect 5-star score on the Google Play Store. We have a 4.8. And who knows, maybe after you guys listen to it more or buy the album, we'll be back to 5. We'll be at 4.95. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. You know? And it's funny too, because like sometimes I know I make a good Minecraft episode when a lot of people freak out. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the episode where I put lava on Mumbo's base. Or not Mumbo's base, on Grian's base. Because he turned my object lesson about not murdering people into a murder device. Which, well, please no. You know, that video, so many people had such a powerful emotional response to it. I think that video had something like 3,000 responses or comments about it. And like 1,000 of them were me like trying to explain the joke to people and be like, thanks for watching. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. And they're like, I didn't enjoy it. I'm so mad. And I'm like, you enjoyed it. You just don't appreciate that you enjoyed it. Your emotional response isn't a level of engagement that I only aspire to most of the time. Thank you. Thank you for engaging with my artwork. And then a lot of them never came back. But you know what? I was really proud of myself. So anyway, yeah. So getting a whole bunch of angry comments on a YouTube video doesn't always mean you made a bad YouTube video. Sometimes it means you made a powerful YouTube video. Anyway. And I'm not somebody who's like going out there and intentionally trying to make things just to shock people. You know, I'm worried that this gap here might have been intentional partially. But oh, like, is this the next level? Well, no, because inside of that, they fill that top part. So even if this is where the next, like, gate is, this upper part would still be filled in, I think. So we would be okay. Yeah, we would be okay here. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to just kind of keep placing these blocks and just enjoy and laugh a little bit, you know? You know, when you, let's say that you signed up for a writing class. And, you know, you get your first bit of feedback, and there's a lot of negative stuff in there, like, you need to change this, you need to change that. You know what that means? That means you're in a writing class. That's what happens in a writing class. That means you took a step toward becoming a better writer, and you should be proud of yourself. You know? It's a good problem to have, that you have someone taking you seriously enough to give you notes that will require you to edit your work. You know? Like, when I write my poems, it's just me. And, I try my best with them, but, you know, it can be kind of lonely just doing all that stuff by yourself. You know, if you've gone out of your way to join a community to make your artwork better, yeah, that is a small victory. And, yeah, the individual, like, here's a list of 50 things that you could have done better. That might feel like a setback, but you can handle it. You can handle it. Man. Okay, so we actually put in a segment here. I was hoping to do, like, this whole length here. But I'm nervous because I feel like they would have put the scaffolding on the outside if they wanted it to cut that way. What does this say here? Possible ZF-based tunnel access. Okay. Well, I love this whole concept. I just want to say. The, Isuma and everybody else who's worked on this up here really thought it through. Why don't we go check out some of the other ones, though? Because there's like a whole... Can we jump fast enough to actually take advantage of this? Yay! Maybe some of the other tunnels more clearly need work, because like there's a bunch of dyes here. So if I need to make red or yellow clay, we can just use some of that and repurpose it. Oh, I forgot to bring cactus dye. That would have been smart. Let's go see if these other tunnels narrow. Because if the other tunnels narrow at that... Okay. Interesting. So this one seems to have 4 or 5 segments and definitely does not appear to narrow. That's very helpful to know. That's actually... I really like this green with the end stone there. Oh, this is such a good tunnel. I just want to eat a carrot and admire it. This is a good tunnel, you guys. Where does this go? Seems to be a portal here. Oh, this is a really... Oh, is this the end? Oh, this is so cool. Do I need anything from the end while I'm here? Not really. So we're not going to use it, but that's a really cool placement. And apparently we've got like a bubble vader here with an up and a down. Why don't we go up it and see where that goes? I'm kind of curious. Middle of the ocean. Whoa. That is pretty awesome. That is one regret I have from the Hermitcraft prank war, is that I never got to build a giant Enderman picking up the enemy base. That would have been really cool. But anyway, I don't know how much of this is spoilers, but... Oh, that's his legs! Oh! Oh, this whole thing is so neat. I was wondering what those were. Oh, this is a cool thing. I believe False might have been working on this. Oh, that's super cool. So anyway, we are... Whoa! That portal did not drop us off back anywhere near where I expected. Oh, but if we were on top of the... That's interesting. That's really interesting. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and say hello to this parrot again. Hello, Scrooge McParrot, CFO. And we're going to swing back up this ladder and then take a run and jump. Oh man, we're getting low on rockets, so we better not screw this up. I think we can do that in one rocket. Can we? No, 2 rockets. And that's how you hurt your face. Ouch. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let's go check out that red tunnel. I'm feeling a lot more confident about continuing that orange tunnel, though. I haven't seen the green one. But let's get a little bit more data. Make sure that none of these narrow. Now, it does seem like a lot of these have these routine gaps here. So, clearly we need to pay attention to how far out those are. Okay, this one, it does definitely stay the same width the whole way. Very cool. Okay, so we've seen the red, the green, and the orange. We'll just check out the blue, and then keep building, I think. Time skip. Having reviewed all of the tunnels, it seems like they all follow the same basic pattern. Now, this blue tunnel here, though, I noticed there's plenty of light blue dye. So what I'm thinking is I'll take some of the light blue dye, some of the massive abundance of orange terracotta I have. What if we made light blue terracotta, right? You might be like, Joe, that's madness. It's like, it's not madness. It's creativity. And then you guys would be like, Joe, you kind of paused there when you said it wasn't madness. Are you really sure? And I'd be like, guys, sometimes I put weird pauses in the middle of my sentences, and that's not necessarily a measure of conviction or lack thereof. And you guys would be like, I don't know. And you would be justified. You'd be justified in having that dubiousness. Man, I remember when our daughter was born, Corinne was always making these dubious faces whenever we showed her anything new. And it was the cutest thing. She was our little dubious baby. And for the last year or so, I've not been allowed to call her the baby. And it's an adjustment. But, you know, we grow and we move on. And I guess, you know, that's a good problem to have, too. Not being allowed to call your kid the baby anymore. You know, that's fine. Even though, you know, she's always my little daughter, you know. I'm glad that she's at a point where she's asserting herself and saying, like, no, don't call me that. That's a good thing, you know? Getting that sense of self going. You know, and it's important to always be kind of, like, thinking about, though, as like, a child grows. You know, we were talking about the teeth thing. You know, we try to stay ahead of that with the kids by warning them, hey, don't freak out if your teeth start falling out. That's normal. And, don't worry, the tooth fairy will come. And so you don't have to be upset. And, like, that's all, really an excellent planning mechanism. And it's important, though, that we have our own planning mechanisms in place for some of the things that might be minor setbacks for us, Like, if you know that you're going to take a class where you have to read a lot of books, I don't know, maybe look at the syllabus in advance so you are prepared to read all of those books so you can get access to them early, so you can see which ones are in the library and which ones you have to buy, There's just kind of some basic life skills. People keep using the word adulting about, like, this sort of stuff, but, like, I prefer competence. Like, you don't have to act like a grown-up to be a fundamentally competent person, You can just look at what's more than 5 feet ahead of you, You can say, if I want to do this, what obstacles should I expect to face? One of the obstacles might be I have to go look things up in a library. Okay. Or I have to go to a bookstore, or I have to borrow these books. How do I do that? Where are these places? Who would I talk to? And just, not procrastinating and putting everything off till the last minute. You can get a lot more done. But, obviously, though, there's going to be cases where we are not mentally prepared. Or not, like, or what I would, maybe not mentally, no, that's actually the opposite of what I wanted to say, where we're not specifically prepared for whatever setback is occurring. Because, like, with the tooth thing, okay, we know kids are going to lose their teeth, so we plan ahead as parents. But sometimes stuff comes up that you're just like, I didn't even know that could happen. What now? Well, the thing is, if you train yourself in general to be prepared for setbacks, you'll be better suited to prepare, like, to respond when chaotic and unexpected things happen. Like, honestly, this might sound really dumb, but it did not occur to me in advance that anyone would give our album a 1-star rating. And that is entirely because I figured nobody who disliked our album would care enough to leave a rating at all. They probably wouldn't listen to it or wouldn't click on it in the Play Store. I just assumed we would be ignored by everyone. And the fact that we got anyone being nice to us and giving us 5-star ratings, I was like, well, there's probably some fans of my YouTube show who will give us some nice ratings. And, we'll probably have some middle-of-the-pack ones. But, like, the fact that we're getting 5-star ratings, that we're reaching this broader audience, nah, man. Totally, completely surprised. Which, it's the dumbest thing, because in retrospect, I'm like, well, I mean, somebody probably cares enough to give 1-star ratings on stores. You see them all the time. But, like, I just didn't know it could happen to me. And it's really exciting to me that it did. So, I didn't actually do the math on how much higher up these go. So let's quickly verify this. So it looks like from where this gold and the stairs are, it goes directly over, and then we have 1, 2, 3 blocks. Is that correct? That might be 4 blocks. No, that's 3. Okay. And then we... Well, actually, the easy thing to remember is it always lines up with the next stairs. And it's always 1 over from that. So we'll just head back here and make sure that aligns properly, and we should be in good shape, okay? So, yeah, we'll just align this here. And there we go. We are making progress now. And not, it would have been smart to make ladders. Maybe I'm going to make some ladders. Why don't we, once we get done... Actually, this whole segment would be easier to do if I just made the ladders in advance. Let's go find those oak logs or birch logs or whatever and make maybe 8 ladders. We don't need a ton of ladders for this, but we clearly need some. Time skip. As you can tell, we have gotten several segments knocked out here. I've got a little bit of extra blue terracotta that I'm probably going to dump in this chest for the next hermit to use. But, having a little bit of extra materials at the end of the day, that's a small setback that I think somebody else can build off of. Feel free to leave comments in the YouTube comments section below with your own examples of little setbacks in your life that turned out to be like a good problem to have, or turned out to be representative of your growth. Don't forget, I do actually read all the comments, which was the point of the last video, where I dug out all that orange clay. If you haven't seen it yet, I think it was funny. I had a bike bell in that one too. Anyway, until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.